Welcome back to another episode of Seasons of Her. This podcast is where women can embrace whatever season they are currently in, the growth, the challenges, the rebuilding, and the becoming. I'm your host, Tanisha Simmons, and today's episode is called Under Contract with Growth. Today, I am joined by an incredible woman, Johniqua Fort. She is a realtor, a mother, and a woman who is rebuilding in life rooted in purpose and determination. In real estate, being under contract, you're making a commitment to something that's in progress. The outcome isn't fully completed yet, but the agreement has already been made. And if we're being honest, that's a lot like life. Sometimes we're under contract with growth, even when we can't fully see it, even when we can't fully see the final result. Today, we're going to be talking about her journey into real estate, balancing motherhood and ambition, trusting God under uh, uncertain seasons, and what it means to grow even when things aren't perfect. So, Joe, welcome to Seasons of Her.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on. So, we're going to get started, and I want you to share just who you are in this current season.
I think right now I am just a woman who is rediscovering herself, relearning herself, discovering what I like now, what I don't like now, and I'm just incorporating that all to be walking more in my purpose every day.
What inspired you to get into real estate?
Since I was little, I've just always like looking at different houses, like seeing the two-story homes, seeing the ranch style homes. Just I've always liked looking at nice homes and wondering how they were designed and decorated in the inside. So I've always had an interest in it. It took me a while to actually go after it.
So what moment did you realize that you can be successful in real estate?
Okay, so from seeing my first ever clients get approved, helping them find the house, getting them in the house under contract from closing. Once I had my first deal, I knew that this was something I could be good at.
So what was it like when you had your first deal and you were going in there for the first time? Take us through that.
My very first closing, like the day of closing.
Yeah, clients and the whole entire process that you had to take them through to the closing day.
Yeah. So my very first clients will always be special to me because actually it's one of my best friends. It's her younger brother and his now wife. So one day we were at a Christmas party and they were just asking me how it had been since I got licensed and everything. I'm like, oh cool, I guess. But I haven't got to do anything yet. And maybe like a week later she called me and was like, so we're ready to buy a house now. I'm like, great, perfect. Let's get this show on the road. But it was nerve wracking to say the least. But it was also adrenaline rush the whole entire process. But I'll forever be grateful that they trusted me and gave me an opportunity to get my first closing under belt, and it was wonderful.
That's nice. So was it because when the first time that you're doing something, it's already going to be nerve wracking, etc. But did you feel more pressure because you knew them, or was you more comfortable because you knew them? Like,
I felt more pressure because I mean you want to get everything right
mhm,
anyway, but it's just like I know them, they're my friends. I got to make sure they get the best possible deal ever. Like, so I felt more pressure working
yeah,
for them.
I can see that. Just it's like, oh my God, I know them, so they're going to be talking about it. If we're in the room, and if you
Yes.
don't know somebody, they can talk about it from afar.
But they no, they were really good. They were really good because like I said, it was my first time. So anytime they asked me something, if I didn't know right away, I'd be like, let me get back to you on that. But
Mhm.
I work for a great broker and she always answers the phone for me. So it was good.
That is good. So, what are some things that people don't see about the work behind being a realtor?
So a lot of people don't know that one is 100% commission based. You do not get paid until you are at a closing table. I don't care if you just got five contracts under, 5 homes under contract. That means nothing until they all get to the closing table. So a lot of the times people think that realtors live this large, lavish life when it's not. It's not like that at all. They don't know that sometimes realtors actually go months without closing. So they don't see everything behind closed doors. They don't know about home inspections that can kill a deal. So you're
Yeah.
selling yourself to the world, and
Mhm.
nobody is coming to give you buyers to find them a house. Nobody is coming to give you sellers to sell their house. Your business. You run your own business. People don't realize that. I've had a few people tell me, when are you going to start, getting the big huge houses? And I'm like, oh, do you think somebody's just gonna give me that list? Like I wish it worked like that, but it don't work like that. So a lot
Right.
of people don't know that. It's really, you have to have the heart for it. You have to have tough skin because it's
Mhm.
not easy.
So I would be one of those people that would think like, oh yeah, they make a good enough money that they're good. Because when I was a college and career advisor, a lot of students were like, oh, I want to be a realtor. And I'm all for whatever they want to do, but
Right.
instantly I thought like, oh, that's something that would bring a lot of money and monthly to them. So
Yeah.
I knew it was a commission base, but I also thought um you get paid, probably a salary base, but then you
No.
earn your commissions once you actually, close the deal.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not like you do not have a set salary. Now I'm
Mhm.
not saying you can't make you can make great money, but there are in betweens when it's slow season, you don't have closing. So it has to teach you to be better with managing your finances and all that stuff, because as soon as you get that commission, it can be gone that very next day. So yes,
Yeah.
no, it takes work to get to that.
Well, that's good insight. So what advice would you give someone that is buying their home for the very first time? So I met someone actually.
Hmm.
Um, my husband and I are thinking about buying a home, actually building a home. So,
Okay.
what advice would you give me and other people in my situation?
So when you met someone, have you met a realtor or a builder? Who did you meet? How are
We
you?
haven't. It's just a thought and a talk process
Okay.
right now. So yeah,
Well,
we're really in the beginning of stages.
it depends on, I think it would, one, I tell people that you need to interview. You need to see how you click with the person you're considering working for. A lot of people sometimes see more popular faces around because some people are more popular than others, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will work together good with you. I tell people that you can definitely interview multiple realtors, multiple lenders, or even builders if you want to build a house. But it starts with communication. Make sure that you guys are on the same page with what you want to do, and make sure you feel like they will get you to where you need to go. If you
Mhm.
don't have they're trying to earn your services, and very important that you guys are working well together. That
Okay.
would be the very first step.
Well, that's good. Because I think people do go off of who they see, and then you just like, oh, let me contact this person because this is who I see most of the time. But definitely, um, having an interview process of
Yeah, a lot of people don't think that they can talk to multiple, but you can definitely talk to multiple realtors. You can talk to multiple lenders to see who fits your situation and your family needs best.
well, that's great advice. What does it mean? So what does the phrase mean to you, under contract? And how can that relate to your life and your growth?
Um, Under contract to me means, it means that you have your mind set towards things and you're working to make it happen. You're working to make that
Mhm.
contract get executed.
Now I'm just thinking about it is, are you going to give yourself a deal? Are you going to be under contract with yourself? Because when you're
Right.
on contract, that's an agreement. You have things that can happen, legal action or whatever the case
Right.
may be. There is consequences to you not abiding by whatever's in that contract. So And this is just me, just thinking about it now, but being under contract with yourself, I don't think we honestly do that as often as we should because of the pressure. And I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
to on yourself about being under contract with yourself. What are you doing in this life to know that you're going to execute whatever's in that contract, whatever you
Right.
say is happening? So, what's something that it kind of goes back to this question. So within your life that you kind of had to put yourself under contract and you have to say, I'm no longer doing this because
Yeah.
now this is an agreement within myself to help me grow. So what is something that you had to sit down and actually say that like this is now my new life?
Right. I do a lot of daily self-reflecting. Like I have a vision board. I constantly journal every day. So I'm planning out what I see my future is as, and I constantly self-reflect. What am I doing that is helping me reach that new person that I want to become? And then what are things that I'm still doing that are putting me in the same cycle that are not helping me get to that? So I think holding myself accountable and just every day showing up to be better is helping me, stay under contract with myself. I'm constantly doing inspections under on myself to make sure that I'm improving the fixes that I need to get to that final stop.
Yeah, that's good. Um, so how do you balance that? Like, how do you balance being a mother, um, and also a realtor, a business owner, a person that is continuing to grow within herself and learning different things? How do you balance all of that?
Um, I honestly, I have a great village. I have I have great grandparents that help me with my girls as far in their dad's grandma helps a lot. So when I am in work mode, I know that if I have showings that are scheduled late, I have great set of grandparents that they can come home to their house after school that helps me stay on track with my work. But then I also, when I get home, I try to be like mom and present. So if that means writing offers at midnight while they're home, while they're asleep after dinner, that's what I do. I just try to make it work as the day goes.
Yeah, that's good. And that's good to have a village and grandparents
Yes,
that
they have
do
great
good.
aunts. Like they're surrounded by some great people that help. Like they
That's
don't
good.
let me not have help. So I appreciate that.
That's good. So being a mom, what has that taught you about resilience and growth?
A lot because now when you have kids, especially little girls, I have two girls, so anytime I feel like I have to lead by example. I can't say I want to do something and then not do it because what is that teaching them? Anytime I
Mhm.
try to, whatever I say I want to see myself do, I make sure that they can see me doing it. I told them I wanted to do real estate, so now I'm a licensed realtor. I'm selling homes. My youngest says she wants to be a realtor now, but
That's
I
good.
just make sure that they see me doing whatever it is that I say I want to do so they know to
Mhm.
follow through with it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to lead by example because you are the first person that they see.
Yeah.
If you're doing it, whether it's good or bad, then that's going to be a question of, oh, this is something I have to accept. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, good leading by example. So this goes to our next question. What was one of the hardest seasons you had to grow through?
Oh, probably the season of me having my first child because I was really young.
Mm,
I had her my senior year in high school. So I just knew I didn't at that time I didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing years later now, but I knew I had to finish school for her. So that was hard and challenging, but I was able to push through. I still played sports my senior year and all that stuff. So I just didn't want to not finish what I
yeah.
started. So I was very glad that I still finished school and all that stuff my senior year after having her.
So, having her young and then her seeing you in that stage of life, to seeing you now.
Hmm.
Do she ever say anything about how proud she is of you, or uh, talk about moments of where you guys used to be to where you are now?
Yes, she does. She's like, I know she's my kid, but she's also like my best, she's my best friend. Like we've grown up together.
Yeah.
So yes, when I hear her tell me that she's proud of me, like that really means something. And she's playing sports now. So now she's into basketball. So now she's telling me, I know I can be good at basketball. All I got to do is work hard and train because you work hard and you get to sell houses. So I am just hoping that she keeps that outlook, working hard and earning everything you have.
Yeah, that's good. That's a little
But I'm also
special.
happy that now I can help, mold her and
Mhm.
help her get the training she needs so she can be good and successful.
So you play basketball. Did she take your advice, or is she like, I got this?
That's different. She does not. That's why I have her trainer. She would rather hear it from her trainer than me. So you know how that can go.
Mhm. Mamas don't know what they talking about until they
That's
do.
what she thinks.
So have there ever been a moment when you doubted yourself in this journey?
Yeah, I think doubt is normal.
Mhm.
Especially when you're trying to achieve big things. If you don't get scared and a little bit afraid, then yeah, that's probably a problem. So I definitely have had moments where I have been doubtful if I'm doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Like I said, for me right now, I feel like my purpose is helping people, and it's always good when you see a deal get to the closing table with people that thought they could never own a house.
Mhm.
And when you see them like cry at the closing table and they're just so happy that they finally bought a house, that makes what I do worth doing it. Like it can be business can fluctuate, but when you're at the closing table and the deal is done, just seeing it through, that makes it worth the while.
Mhm. So when you are being doubtful or when you are having those thoughts, um, what gets you out of that? What gets you to say, you know, my mind just playing tricks on me. That's not
Yeah.
true. I need to go, handle business.
A lot of different. Like I said, I self reflect. I journal a lot. I'm in therapy because I feel like it helps with your mental health and helps you have clarity and helps you stay on track. Um, I talk with friends a lot just to reevaluate situations, like just different things how to cope with hard days. You just always have to, once you figure out your why and why you're doing it, that helps you as well stay on track when
Yeah.
you have doubt.
Yeah. And that's what I do. It's important to have your village for yourself in those
Yes.
situations, because your mind is one powerful thing, and once you believe it and feel like it's true, you can play on it and act on it. And just like you shared before, being a realtor, you kind of have to have your head on the right track because essentially you're selling yourself, and you have to continue to keep going and pouring into yourself because when you pour into yourself, it goes into your business. So yeah. So do you have to like? I know you work uh, with Main Key.
Main key realty, yes.
Okay. So is it essentially like we say having your own business and it's commission based? So
Hmm.
do they 1099 you? Uh, like, do you have to have your own business?
Yeah, I'm a 1099,
Hmm.
so it's just strictly commission. I do a broker, my broker hosts my license, so I work under her brokerage. But yeah, the as far as making your own business, that 100% comes from you. Like nobody gives you business. You have to create that for yourself.
So, what is something people see about your life that they fully don't understand the sacrifice?
I don't know. I think people think I'm a millionaire at this point, but but I'm far from a millionaire. Would I
Hmm.
love to be a millionaire? Yes, but I am
Hmm.
nowhere near a millionaire. Sometimes people see you closing on homes and they automatically think
Yeah.
you just got it like that. But no, I'm still growing. I'm still growing my business. Am I doing well? Yes, but I'm still growing. So I'm pouring
Mhm.
a lot into the back end of, with marketing, all that stuff. So I think
Mhm.
that's the most crazy thing
Yeah.
that people think.
So, when asking you to be a part of this, one of the things, because this month I am doing 31 days of rebuilding her, and I thought it would be perfect to have you a part of like the March series as I'm going along with this. Is we know of each other, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I just know like just from afar how really you came from being a person that being a person that went through when you were very young, being the mother, going through the things you went through as a first time mom, and then, having your second baby, going through things in those seasons. And then honestly, I honestly love to see people on social media in life, like your presence is different. And what you talk about, what you post about, and rebranding yourself is totally different than the person that I used to see.
Yeah.
Um, and are the things that you will hear, are the thing like your struggles are, um, and people, and that's all people will know.
Yeah.
So to see you come from being that young girl that you argue or post something, like on social media and um of something that you're going through or whatever, but to really see that you transform and to be this woman right now is really inspiring and it's beautiful. And I enjoy seeing. Why am I getting emotional? Anyway, but
Girl, you're gonna make me cry.
I love to see women grow, and people don't realize that you can grow. You don't grow overnight, but you can change your mind overnight and say, "I am no longer going to talk like this. I'm no longer going to post like this. I'm no longer going to do this." That I am giving myself the opportunity to grow, to be different, to be better. And we all go through struggles, but honestly, to see you transform, just like social media wise, is beautiful. I love when you are doing your thing, and it is really motivating just to see women come from any life, in any season of where it wasn't the prettiest to now
Yeah.
making this beautiful canvas with all the things that we had to learn. So I just want to commend you and just say I'm proud of you. We see you. Uh, keep selling them houses. Keep doing what you're doing because it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I appreciate that. You're gonna get me really emotional, but it's
Right
nice
on.
to
Right.
see that you notice because like you said, well, or like I told you previously, what I thought my life would be like when I was early 20s, middle age, 20s, and now here is completely different. So it's nice
Mhm.
to see when people can acknowledge that you have changed and you are, once I accepted that I didn't have to have the life I didn't want to have and I can
Mhm.
work towards the life I want, that's when, I start holding myself accountable and making the changes that needed to be made. So it's great to see that people can see that because
Yeah.
sometimes you wonder, like I
Mhm.
said, I know in my early 20s, I am nothing like that anymore. And this is the most that I felt the most free to, just willingly talk to people and just, introduce myself to people. And it
Mhm.
feels really good to, grow up. It feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's the thing because when I moved back here and people that know me when I was in high school, elementary, they'd be like, "Oh my God, is that you?" It is me.
Yeah, yeah. This is grown up me. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I've
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah. They tell me I am like the people that used to see me play basketball. I was something else on their court, going off and arguing and all the things. And the people be like,
Yeah,
"Oh my God, that's you." I'm like, "Yeah, it was always in you." But um being young and what I'm learning now is like I've always was like, why was I like that? Why did I behave like that? Why did this happen? And I've always known that the person that I am today was inside of me, but it was not
yeah,
nurtured in a way that it should have been nurtured. And it came off so ugly and unkind and all of the
yeah.
things. And I'm
But
realizing
thank
that.
God for growth because
Mhm.
now you work a lot with the youth, so now you can nurture that in them and help them embrace that, at a more early age. So I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's just beautiful, girl. Growth is good, and
Yes,
see women
it is.
continue to grow and not be afraid of change. Being under contract, girl, I'm going to be using that, but being under contract with yourself and giving yourself that ability
Yeah,
to, say, like, I'm going to make this agreement with myself. And what
yeah.
I do does not have to come with where I'm going. Yeah.
Yes, that's I think that's the most important part that people need to get out of that. You where you started at does not have to be where you end. So I love that.
I love that too. I wouldn't came up with that if you weren't a realtor. I was thinking about under contract. And I think we kind of talked about something that you outgrown and you're never going back. Oh, let's talk about this. Do you think people stay broke because of their mindset or lack of opportunity?
Mm, I think maybe lack of opportunity. I don't think a lot of people, no, nobody wants to be broke, but
Hmm.
when you see people that are maybe more successful, they've had a little bit more opportunity than the next person. I definitely think lack of opportunity holds a lot of people back. I do.
Yeah,
I
I can
do.
see both. I can see a mindset thing and a lack of opportunities
Yeah.
because and the reason why I'm saying that is because it's who you know really will
Yeah.
get you
It
anything.
is. It is.
And if we switch our mindset, and me being really transparent right now, I did not want to be a school counselor. I did not want to work in a school district. And the reason was is because growing up, you're in sites and you see white teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't sound like them. I don't look like them. I don't want to be around that. And that was
Yeah.
my mindset in that moment saying, and it wasn't lack of opportunities. It was just, for me, it was my mindset saying, I will never be in that position because I don't look like something that,
Right.
I don't look like that. I've never
Yeah.
seen it. I've only had one black teacher, an actual teacher, not a lunch lady or not an aide or a
Right.
substitute. um, so it was my mindset saying that I cannot do that. But once I
Yeah.
changed my mindset, the opportunities came. Um, so that's why I'm like, I can see kind of
Yeah.
like,
I like that outlook. Yeah. I
yeah,
like that outlook.
yeah, both. And so I can see, lack of opportunities because even
Yeah.
here in this rural area, we lack more opportunities than people in the city.
Yeah.
Um, and people leave this area because they do have more opportunities in bigger places to do things. But also, if I didn't change, I just know personally, if I didn't change my
Yeah.
mindset, I don't think I would be doing the work that I'm doing now.
So what made you feel like what made you change your mindset? Like when did you feel like no, actually I can do that?
I don't know, because when my professor was trying to get me, I was an undergrad, tried to get me to be a counselor. He was like, "Tanisha, you'll be so good at it," and I
Yeah.
kept saying, "No, like I don't want to be in the school district." I knew for sure, and I still know for sure that my life, what I'm doing right now in my life, um, I wanted community wide. So I've
Yeah.
always known I wanted to help people become the best version of themselves, like youth, adults, whoever. Um, and I had the opportunity to be a college advisor. And I
Mhm.
said, well, I'm just going to do it for a year. Let me go in there and learn the proper way of, you know, sending kids to college, trade school, so I can come back in the community and I can be like that person that people can go to. And I can
Yeah.
help, our community get where they need to go. So it was in that moment when I was there, and I would tell people, I used to have two wigs, right? And I would have a short straight and a short curly. And I was like, I'm not wearing my natural hair. I'm not uh, and I still had that mindset like, why are you here? You don't look like them, you don't talk like them, da da da. But it was the students. My black students would come in my office and they would talk about their natural hair. They'd talk about certain things, and I would still be pouring back into them. And it was them that changed my mindset. It was like how are you afraid to embrace who you are in this area or being around certain people? Um, and now you 100% got kids looking up to you. You got people that think you got these students thinking that you are really a boss girl, about like
Yeah,
really educated, really got your stuff together, and here you are scared to walk in the building every single day. And it
yeah,
was in that moment when I was like, you know what, forget this. I started wearing my natural hair. I started being
yeah.
who I was, and authentically me, and I didn't care about what I once told myself. So that's how.
Well, you are a boss. You are a boss. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're getting it. That's good.
but
Yes, kids. I think the innocence in kids, like, it can really teach us a lot if you let it teach you. It can really
mhm,
teach us a lot.
yeah. When did you finally start choosing you over what people expect from you?
Ooh, I think I just started doing that maybe a year or two ago. Yeah, I just started doing that. It hasn't always been something, I haven't always felt the need to choose myself. I'm happy that I am doing that now, but it's kind of been hard to do that, especially like even getting started with real estate. Um, like I said, it's 100% commission. So a lot of people, like when I said I was going to do this, I knew I wanted to do this full time.
Mhm,
A lot of people that closest to me didn't agree with it,
mhm,
but I had to choose my happiness first, and it's turning out good. It is challenging, but
mhm,
I once I started choosing that, it led to me also wanting to choose myself in other areas, my personal life. So I choose my own happiness over relationships. So just putting myself first. The last couple of years, I can see it's undoing a lot that's comfort to me,
mhm,
but it's necessary to get to, the ultimate person I can be walking in my purpose. It's
mhm,
necessary to find my true love of my life.
mhm,
My husband is waiting for me somewhere, so I have to undo things in order to get
mhm.
there. So I'm
Yeah.
past couple, I say 2 years, but it's working out choosing myself.
So
Yeah, I'm speaking it all over myself.
it is going to happen. I tell people all the time, I'm like, it was like, how did you know? I knew because I always tell my husband, I got told. When I feel it in my spirit, it's certain when God's speaking to me is happening. And I knew he was getting ready to give me the life that I have now, uh, years before it. But once it started happening, I felt it months prior to it. And I'm like, oh my God, something's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
So just continue believing and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So just I got two last questions. So what advice would you give women that's currently in the same season that you're in?
To just keep going, no matter how hard it looks or how hard you think it is, how painful it is, to just keep going, keep striving. I think a lot of the times when you feel like you're on the verge and at the edge, I think that's when the breakthrough happens. So just keep pushing, continue to work on yourself, to be the best that you can be, and it will work out. I'm still right now. That's currently what I tell myself, daily. Just keep going, take it day by day, and everything
Mhm.
will work itself out.
Okay, I love that advice. So how can people get in contact with you?
You can find me on Facebook. My name is Johniqua Fort on Facebook, or if you need if you need me to contact you with a builder, I got a perfect builder for you. But you can also find my business page. It's still my name, Johniqua Fort, Main Key Realty.
Mhm.
Um, Find me there.
So we're going to wrap up this episode. Again, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure um, to have you on Seasons of Her and give us some advice. And I do want to remind the listeners, you guys are under contract in your own personal life. Sign that contract and make that agreement with yourself. Make your
Yes.
agreement with yourself to know that you can have whatever life you want and be honest with yourself and just do it. We've all
Yes.
grown. Gonna have good times, bad times, whatever times, but we're all in this life to grow to be better. So yeah, I want to thank y'all for listening, and I want to thank you for joining
Yes. Thank you again for having me. I definitely want to come back.